the obvious question, you get to host an NCAA tournament game, something that hadn't happened just a ton around here. But this group said before the year that y'all were special, and you've proven it and have earned this right. So I guess just what are the initial feelings and seeing that name pop up yesterday, and just what all's kind of gone through your mind the last 24 hours or so?
Yeah, I mean, it just an immense sense of pride. We actually trained this time last year. And we gave the players the option as to whether they wanted to continue to train or whether they wanted some time off. And it was unanimous that no, we want to make sure that we know what it feels like to train at this time of year, because next year we're going to be doing it for real. And then obviously the spring was a process. We worked on a lot of things, learned a lot of things. And then the summer, you could tell that the players were eager to take the next step. The vibe in the locker room, the team culture took another step in a massive positive direction. And listen, we've talked about it a lot this year, but I don't think anybody can quite realize, unless they were actually in our group, of the amount of adversity and disappointment that we've had to go along the way, right? We, even with big wins, there was always some kind of setback from an injury standpoint, and losing really key players. I've never known a group like this, and when I say group, obviously the players are the most important piece of that. But my staff, my coaching staff, have kept it positive throughout, helped me out a ton. Support staff has been unbelievable. So I know that's a long-winded answer, but for our name to come out yesterday, host, get the opportunity to play in front of our fans. This group's done an unbelievable job of making soccer relevant in this community. That's what we wanted. We wanted another opportunity to play in front of them. Friday, 3 o'clock, we get that. So immense sense of pride, for the process that we've gone through and the adversity we've had to face. And looking forward to a fun Friday afternoon.
We know a lot of it was made about the summer and how much that helped take the next step forward. Just in your eyes, what did last summer really do for y'all to get to this point?
Last summer it was just kind of the expectation was set that we were gonna work hard all summer, even though it's tougher in the summer because you're apart. Like everybody has to do it on their own, or even just with a few teammates rather than the whole team, and that's just challenging because in the summer you don't play soccer with your team. You really just are in the grind phase of season. But we all made that commitment at the end of spring that we were gonna do that. And when everybody came back, you could just see that, like, people had taken the next step when it comes to conditioning. Like, people were running faster. We had everybody passing fitness tests, and when in the past we've like struggled with that, and it was like motivating to everybody else because you could tell, oh, like I wasn't the only one doing the hard work, and it was just giving us that extra motivation to see it through and keep going and building on the hard work that we've been putting in all year, because sometimes when you come back after summer it's like a lot of question marks, and I think we did a good job of answering them.
Alyssa, I wanted to ask you, so with how this season has ended for you guys, I know it's not really the way that you guys wanted to end it. I know that you guys got the SEC tournament win, but just struggles offensively. It's been really, really tough when it just comes to the SEC schedule in general, and you guys definitely felt that towards the end of it. What have been the biggest things that you guys have tried to focus on over these last few weeks to get yourselves prepared for a situation like what is going to come up on Friday?
Well, I think we've taken a lot of steps just as a team together on making sure that we can fine-tune the things that we need to, but it's been more focused on ourselves rather than other teams around us. So I know that we've had to kind of modify game plans to other teams to face what we've been given, but the focus right now in the past couple of weeks has been us playing our style, playing soccer, and having people have to morph their stuff to us rather than the other way around. So I think it's been difficult, but we are up for a challenge. And I think, again, like, it's not about the other team, it's about us and what we can do to put ourselves in a better position based on what we can improve on.
Coach, I know it hadn't even been 24 hours since you found out New Mexico State playing them, but what have you learned about their program in the last few hours?
Yeah, learned quite a lot actually. Watched a lot of film already, and like I said before, I've got a great staff. So the one thing that you can tell is they work hard for each other. They're well organized. They're very well coached. They give up very few goals. They've beaten some really good teams. They had a tough non-conference schedule. So obviously, when you look at that, the coach did that for a reason, to prepare them for moments like this. And they're a threat going forward. They've got some strong, athletic, physical girls all over the field. Goalkeeping is excellent as well. She's one of their key players. So, this is a really good. It's probably the best team that they've ever had in program history. So, it's a great, exciting opportunity to play against another quality opponent here at home.
William, for both you and Alyssa, Coach talked about the adversity that y'all had to overcome throughout the course of the year, and even in big wins, having things happen. Why do you think you guys were able to, bounce back and not let any of that weigh you down? What kind of made this team be so resilient over the course of the year?
I think it's multiple things coming into play for that. Like, I think we all kind of have an underdog mentality a lot of times. So then, you already have the grind and the resilience, with that. And so when we have a setback, we're like, all right, well, let's just keep going. It's just one more setback. What's one more? And, just having that, chip on our shoulder, I think we thrive with that. So that was one piece. But then also just having quality players all around. It's been really fun to see everybody just put their best foot forward and I don't know, just take the opportunities that they have and just play so well and not even really surprise most of us, because in practice you see it all the time. You're like, man, she's good, and then they're on the field and they're showing that, and it's just fun, and it's been honestly something that I take a lot of pride in too when it comes to our team. Yeah, we're good, and I don't know, I just feel like it's something really special about the group. And yeah, it comes with the coaching staff, the culture, and that chip on our shoulder, but also just individual quality that everybody brings to the table.
Yeah, I think a lot of it was set when we did the program over the summer, and I think that kind of set an underlying precedent that, everybody does play an individual role, and you don't just have to be in a leadership position or whatever it might be to have a voice. So I think that kind of brought the group up in the sense of knowing everybody can step up and do something in whatever way possible. So I think that helped push the culture forward. And then also every time we've had, an injury or dealt with adversity, I think it was Neil from the program who said it, but shark's teeth, they fall out all the time and then just another one grows back. So that's kind of the mentality that we've had to have. And I think the special part about it is I know from being in another program or just even talking to other people, when injuries happen, it's kind of hard to get those girls to have the same mentality as the people who are on the field. And I think that's what's been different, even about when we experienced in 2020 all the injuries, keeping everybody on the same page. And I think that's something that we have done a really good job of, is as soon as a player goes down, we have another one step up, but we all still have the same goal in mind of first making postseason, and now it's continuing to make history, and everybody's on the same path, and we want the same thing.
James, I wanted to ask you, you guys have, going into the SEC tournament, you guys knew most, if not all, the opponents that you guys were going to play. So you had that preparation in hand. How much more unique and, more difficult of a situation is it now that you guys, I know that you guys have done a little bit of scouting so far from New Mexico State, but just talk about the situation now heading into the NCAA tournament, not really, especially with this opponent, not really knowing them coming in and, having to kind of prepare for that as you guys hopefully will, continue on in the tournament, just that sort of preparation differences.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously an awesome, unique challenge, but in this day and age, every one of their games is available for us to watch. So we can watch every single one of them, the statistical breakdown on all of them. So we're well on the way to watching a very large chunk of all of their games this season, to get a good idea stylistically of what they try and do and what formation they play and tactical tendencies. My staff does a great job of breaking it all down, and we will start today painting pictures for the players. We'll work on attacking one day, defending another day, and set pieces another day. So, we'll be able to paint some really good pictures for the girls today that then we can go and train and show kind of what we think that they're going to try and do and where their strengths are, and obviously where we can maybe exploit them in certain areas. So the beauty of technology in this day and age, but we've got everything that we need. But you're right. I mean, obviously, when you play against an SEC team, you've seen these players. Those that are seniors, you might have seen them 3 times. Leading up to that game. These players that we're playing against, we don't know any of them individually. We've never played against any of them before, so that's a little different. But I'm really optimistic about the things that we can start showing them today.
It doesn't seem like a group that you really have to motivate all that much, but
No.
this is such an accomplishment to be here and to be in this spot. What is your message to your group going into a game on Friday? I mean, some teams would be, just have that happy to be there mentality. I don't think y'all have that problem at all. But what would be your message going into this group as y'all kick things off on Friday?
I think you got to temper it a little bit, because I don't think yesterday they realized how big of an accomplishment making the NCAA tournament is. When you're in it, you kind of take it for granted a little bit. But my goodness, there's so much hard work that everybody puts in to get to that moment. So it's getting them to realize that this is a special moment, but at the same time, a great opportunity is being put in front of us. Once again, home field advantage, playing in front of our crowd. Hopefully get some rest. I mean, we talked a little bit about SEC. We went Thursday, Sunday, Tuesday with a limited squad. Losing in the SEC tournament is something you never want to do. But the only silver lining was that we could get home and give the girls some days off, So we gave them off. We got back Wednesday, gave them Thursday, Friday off. And limited Saturday and Sunday, gave them yesterday off. So now we go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, intense training to prepare for Friday. So, from that standpoint, hopefully we're going to be as fresh as we've been in a long time. The medical staff's doing a great job to maybe try and get some people back that we haven't seen for a while. So from all of that, it's kind of tempering that excitement and happiness. Now it's get back to work, but don't take it for granted, because there's 284 teams that don't get the opportunity to train as of the end of the day yesterday. We're one of 64 teams, and that's special. Only 32 getting that large bid. We've got a home game. We're hosting. We're seeded. Let's enjoy that moment. So it's special. We want them to know that, but it means nothing if we don't go and do something on Friday.
James, just kind of speak to what this means for women's sports in Mississippi State across the board. Because NCAA tournament again for the second time. Volleyball, of course, made it last year for the first time.
Yeah.
Softball made the super regional for the first time. There's a lot of first and second things going on out here.
The special thing about Mississippi State is how close all of the coaches are to each other and how supportive they are of each other. There's no jealousy. And I'm pretty sure it's the same for the players. I go to a volleyball game, there's 3/4 of my team there. You go to softball, there's 3/4 of my team there, So we kind of took a look at it last year and said to the team, why not us, this year? You looked at softball and supported their unbelievable run, volleyball, their unbelievable run, volleyball doing it again this year. So it was one of those things hey, just look at how much the community embraces teams that are successful. We have the talent to do that. Now we need to take the next step in order to have that feeling as well. And we've had that so far this season, right? So from that standpoint, I think it's massive for our program. It's massive for women's sports in Mississippi State, and just glad it's our time finally.
Any more questions? Anything else? Y'all want to give a closing statement?
I'll say that we've broken the attendance record twice this season, which was something that was a goal of ours at the beginning of the year. It would be really awesome to break it for a third time. These girls deserve it. They put in so much effort and hard work to represent this program and the school in a really positive way. It's a great opportunity to have an excuse to take the afternoon off work, get the kids out of school early, ring the cowbells loud. When we have the crowd, those record-breaking crowds so far, It is the loudest environment I've ever been in, and the girls appreciate that. They feed off that energy. It's a soccer crowd, so please, 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 we want the student body, we want the faculty to come out, we want other student athletes to come out. Obviously, all students that are here at Mississippi State, it'd be awesome just to get everybody out and fill the stadium.